everyone. My name is Daphne Thompson, and I help municipalities implement practical AI. And today, I have the utmost pleasure to speak to Ken Glover. He is just an absolute amazing person with all of your needs on recruitment and placing needs. But please, let me not do that. Ken, tell us a little bit about you.
Daphne, you're too kind. Thank you very much. Yes, Ken Glover with Human Edge Executive Search, President, Managing Partner. Been around since 2007. We work in a number of sectors and industries: municipal, non-for-profit, charities, private, public sector, and and yes, that's where we do operate across Canada. Most of our work is Western Canada, but we are national in scope. So, looking forward to having this conversation.
So, what we're going to chat about today specifically is that notion where people are thinking when they're using AI to in their cover letter or in interview or in the whole procurement for human resources aspect that it's cheating. Now, I've done that when I really want to get in front of someone. Of course, I have looked on what are the keywords in the job description. Of course, I've asked AI to have a look at my resume and link up the keywords and then create a fabulous cover letter for that. But why do not recruiters necessarily, but hiring managers think that's cheating? What is that about?
Well, first of all, I think you're onto something in terms of two things. One, AI exists and people are using it in all areas, including recruitment or their job pursuits, and in the industry of HR in general. Secondly, there is a stigma associated with its use, and we somewhat differentiate, perhaps. And our position is it's a tool. People have been using thesauruses, if you remember what those are, years ago. It's a tool to enhance and as you suggest, align. We're not opposed to that. What we're opposed to is when people cross that line and use it for cheating purposes. And there's areas that we've seen this and caught this perhaps and observed it. But for the most part, we are not opposed to people utilizing it in improving their opportunities to demonstrate and articulate their skills and interest.
So you touched on something there for when it's cheating, but what is cheating exactly? I
Ah,
do fully agree that it is if you misrepresent yourself, saying you've done something that you haven't. Yeah, totally. But what else is cheating then by using AI?
well, in the HR recruitment executive search space, we will have processes of interviewing people.
Hmm.
There's a phone call, preliminary phone call, which may elevate to a in-person interview or a online interview, and then in-person interview. When you're in person, it's pretty hard to cheat and lie um, or misrepresent yourself. When you're online doing a preliminary screen interview, um, sometimes we have caught people and their eyes looking afar, reading a bot. Uh,
Hmm.
the AI technology is amazing, and that AI can address questions we are asking fairly quickly, and of course, they proceed to read it. Um, we have no proof, but it definitely in their answers are pretty telltale. The other thing we've seen is resume cover letters. Sometimes in the body of the resumes, you would see excessive use of adjectives and
Hmm.
adverbs, a telltale sign of AI support. Again, we're not entirely opposed to that. Our clients, for the most part, are looking for very, um, savvy, digital technology savvy individuals. So the fact that they're utilizing this tool is not entirely negative.
Hmm.
What we will dive into is their honesty. Are they disclosing and being transparent that they used AI? Are they trying to
Sorry,
hide
on that,
something?
just on that, you mentioned earlier that AI is a tool.
It is a tool.
So my rebuttal to that is then, if you AI is actually only just a tool like Word and Grammarly, I don't disclose when I've used a Word document to type up my things, or even a dictator type of thing to dictate what it is, or Grammarly to fix my grammar and things. Why would I have to disclose if I use AI?
You don't have to disclose it, but we have had more people indicate to them we utilized AI to produce or improve our resume and improve our cover letter. Um, that's fine. We share that with the client with their consent, and I appreciate them letting us know. It's not a requirement, nor does it differentiate or separate you from your skills. Um, Maybe in some positions a graphic is required, and they used AI to produce a graphic as part of their submission.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I just being transparent helps. Again, it's not a requirement from our perspective.
Very interesting. So, what does a good resume look like when it used AI versus what does a bad resume look like by using AI? Now, you've already alluded to some of the excessive use of adjectives and things like that, but what is then good versus bad?
Well, I think AI does help align a person's existing accurate, correct education and skills with the position profile or
Mm,
position description. Structure, formatting, there's variations. You will see AI tends to pick up and be a lot more accurate in terms of bullet placements, in terms of layout in the center of a
mm,
page, in terms of boldness of lines and letters. Certain fonts are characteristic of AI. Dashes, use of dashes. Again, um, it's a polish. It may be more accurate. It may in terms of better than their own articulation, share and highlight the um, alignment they have with a
mm,
particular position. Sometimes people get nervous in interviews. I don't suggest using AI during interviews, but
but prepping for AI, right? Uh,
and prepare.
yes.
Certainly, use your Claude to identify various questions that could be asked and prepare and practice. I applaud people who do that, and it does. You can tell people who have prepped for interviews,
Yeah.
whether it's AI or otherwise. But what
Because
we
that's,
have been concerned about, Daphne,
yeah.
is the lying, the embellishment, and through our process, we've been very diligent going through educational records checks because people have embellished education credentials, maybe certain achievements on their resume, utilizing um, institutions that are not domestic to maybe give the perception of uniqueness.
Mm,
But we have certainly picked up and do our diligence on the education checks and back checks. We just cannot have any of that embellishment and eventually in the interview through the process, and this is the importance of a process, you will catch these individuals that are abusing the use of AI.
but yeah, I find this actually very aligned with what you're saying, because AI does hallucinate. It does make up stories. It does smoke shroom on the weekends. We don't actually know what's going on in that. But when someone is applying for a position and it's an intentional application, not just a random, hey, I'm sending my resume everywhere, it is up to that person to actually read it still, verify the links, ensure that it actually matches with what the experience is, because AI is not human. Like you said, it is a tool. It doesn't have concept of um, history, or it doesn't have concept of context. It doesn't have feeling in there. So the human is still of the utmost importance, especially because it's representing you. Like, this is going out representing you to make sure that how it worded something is not a misrepresentation, because that's where the key aspect comes in. By just swapping words around or using just a different way of saying something can emphasize a misleading claim that might not have been there, right? And that's actually what you're talking about. So the use of AI is not the bad thing. It is how you use it to still have a human in the loop and actually use it to help and improve you. Because otherwise, it will just destroy you.
It can backfire, no doubt. I think AI has played a role in helping people get noticed, maybe pushing them through the door because of accuracy and
Mm,
in alignment with the position description, helping elevate certain items. Maybe it's helped the applicant and the person job seeker. But at the end of the day, with a very rigorous process, you end up dealing with the human side of the search process and the individuals. You cannot use AI to screen that.
no. And I've also heard when councils come and have that, when they ask the questions, they can literally see how someone is typing the question and waiting for the answer and then giving it
Yeah.
back. That's just kind of silly. I mean, that's not how real life works. When you're standing in front of someone, if you need to be able to give a answer, where AI is, like you said, amazing for prep work, and I do that every time I go into a new community. I use, my favorite is Allen Notebook, to understand their
Good. Yeah.
strategic plan and their OCP and everything else that they might be, just to get a nice overview when I prepare for going into a community. Same thing with resumes, but to literally sit there and have machine speak to human is kind of a little out there. So
Mhm.
there I agree with you. But what have you seen are some of the greatest helps when using AI for a candidate, and what are the biggest pitfalls that we haven't discussed yet?
Sure. Well, I think I alluded to how AI helps. It can articulate, say, your draft resume and clean it up, punctually, perhaps grammatically, formatting, layout. Uh, Cover letters, it may offer a lot more of a succinct um, message.
Mm,
Oftentimes people can get wordy, but AI can get wordy. So those are the pitfalls are some of the, again, symptoms of AI, and that is the heavy use of adjectives and adverbs. Now you can correct it, and you can try different um, requests to clean that up and give it less of a descriptive nature. AI is very functional. So
mm,
what we have to watch are people embellishing experiences, embellishing achievements and accomplishments. Um, so those are the things that people have to watch. Eventually, you're going to have to speak to these experiences. Is it appropriate to use, excellent or thorough, um, heavily accomplished? Use the descriptors that are accurate and represent you better.
because what you're basically saying is, when someone reads your resume and they speak to you in person, they kind of need to click that, oh, there's one similar line. It's the same
Yeah,
person. It's not someone that speaks about, oh, it's such a damn hot day versus what a lovely afternoon. You know,
exactly,
it
exactly.
needs to align.
It should align. It should align with you as a character, you as your vocabulary. um, it again, we have more and more. In fact, just about all of our clients love to see their candidates have a computer, digital acumen,
Mm,
and savvy with software and capable of utilizing, because it is in demand. It is efficient. It helps achieve efficiencies. So it's not entirely negative to understand or know or see or sense that they have used AI. Um, it is how it's being used, and we have to either screen that And hopefully they're just transparent and honest and let us know through the process.
So I always compare AI to like Google Maps. I don't tell people when I use Google Maps, it is now assumed because if anyone that knows me knows I don't know directions. So it is assumed that I use some kind of AI to help me get somewhere. If AI tells me that I must turn left somewhere, but the road is clearly closed and I still go in there, who's at fault? Is it AI or
Mm.
is it me, the human? So the same thing with resumes. This is there to help you, guide you, lead you through something which you might not have to do before getting your resume ready, updating it, but it's still your responsibility on how it is presented.
Correct.
Now, you alluded that from senior level perspective, having the acumen for AI and digital transformation is now becoming more important. What would you say from a senior executive position, because that's majority of the placements that you do, a senior
Right.
level, at C level, uh, what kind of acumen would you want to see in your resumes, except for the normal formatting, proper grammar, things like that, that you can see this person is computer literate, they know what they're talking about, and then yeah, that you can actually see that AI is used for this for the better.
Well, again, crispness, accuracy, alignment. We look for obviously the printed material that's provided to us, a cover letter and resume. On the higher level, more professional, if you will, levels, sometimes a full CV is provided. So then you have individuals that have published. You have to ensure the accuracy, the description of the
Mm,
bibliography and writings. Again, these things have to be checked, and AI can get excessive in making reference to publications if they are not accurate in terms of disclosing their involvement in those publications. Were they contributor? Were they advisor? Again, we may have to dig. We will definitely ask about it. Education, have they completed their degree, their PhD, their master's? Um, some you have to verify and dates, achievements, etc. Um, I find the AI just really helps if they give that direction to AI to be more accurate and be more succinct. So instead of having a 3-page cover letter, you've got it in 1.5 or one. Instead of having a 5-page resume, which is okay. I love to see the full story, but it does help succinct and focus on and align with the needs of the position. Um, we can tell when it's being used. We sometimes ask and verify, but really, at the end of the day, it has to align with the individual when we meet that individual. And people using it, in my opinion, should not stop using it. They have to be more effective in how they use it. It has to represent you, the individual, in grammar, in vocabulary, and in content. And then, of course, you cannot. You have to watch proprietary information and embellishment.
so I found it really interesting. I read this article of McKinsey and Company, and they're currently in their consulting recruitment process. Is part of their very last sections in their recruitment process is where the consultants have to solve problems by using, I think Lizzie is their AI's name, but their internal AI to solve the problem. And then they are evaluated based on how they reason with the AI. What are the prompts that they use? How did they get to the problem solving? How did they get around some challenges? And then ultimately end product of it as well. Do
Correct.
you see something like that will becoming a standard or just anything towards it in local government C-level hiring?
We're seeing more and more use. I mean, we have some tools, psychometric tests, not full blown, but maybe it's directions, maybe it's scenario questions that come up, and they are asked to select from various options. So the tools work just as well for the recruitment process as perhaps the applicant. Again, you have to watch that the tools and the questions and the tests are relevant. I think you could exclude qualified people by accident or by unintentions based on relying too much on that. But definitely you're seeing it on both sides of the fence in the industry, that's for sure. Dictation, summation, consent is very important. Is it being recorded? Is it being stored? That is extremely important for the search firm to ensure and provide the candidates.
What responsibility do you think lies on the employer or the employer's side to make room for AI in this application process?
Well, if they're not exploring the use of AI, they're wasting their time. There are so many applications and improving more and more in the recruitment executive search process. The question is, to what extent do you rely on that? Are you excluding the human factor, which is the most important? You have to shake a hand, in our opinion. You have to meet with an individual. They have to physically engage with your team at some point and yourself. But we do find the employer or the search firms, they ought to be exploring the use and application. At all times, however, you have to ensure consent is sought from the applicant.
I find that role absolutely fascinating, and I love every single aspect of it. So, what are some of the things, or just at least one piece of advice that you want to give to a candidate when applying by using AI?
Yeah, for the job seeker, for the applicant, don't shy away from the use of AI to help you, I guess, demonstrate your skill sets and get an opportunity to show them who you are. I think I know you have to understand it's a tool for you. Hopefully it's a tool that helps you practice. Hopefully it's a tool that improves your resume, your cover letter, improves your understanding perhaps of the position and your preparation for an interview. It is a tool for you, and hopefully it helps. At the end of the day, that tool and how you're using it better reflect your accurate education, your accurate ability to articulate, communicate, vocabulary, and the actual achievements you've accomplished that are articulated in this resume. So I do not discourage people from using AI in the preparation or in the process of applying for jobs and pursuing employment. If you feel more comfortable and wish, convey that to the employer, the search professional, that you have developed a graphic based on AI, or you have developed the chart summary of your accomplishments and achievements by using AI. If you feel, I don't think it really matters, but in our world, we like to know. We're being transparent with you. If you're transparent with us, I think there's an element of an advantage. But again, it's a tool for you, and hopefully it's helpful.
One of the ways that AI has always helped me the most when preparing for interviews or even some of the council meetings is making use of the STAR method. So what is the situation? What was the task? What was the action that I did and the results afterwards? So that when I answered, the whole story is being answered. That was one of the key aspects that I know AI helped me quite a bit in preparing for any kind of council meeting or even job market that I've ever went to. But do you think that AI will be soon becoming a hiring metrics or a factor of if you are AI proficient or not, will you get the job, yes or no?
I don't foresee that in the near future. I feel it's a tool right now. I don't think it's a differentiator. I don't think it's a requirement. But I do feel it is an ability for people to demonstrate their computer or their software skills. And I think we will have more and more perhaps questions or tests utilizing AI. And so one's ability to swim in those waters will become a factor. Correct.
Well, Ken, it was lovely speaking to you. You know, me and you can geek out on this for the whole day. So, how can municipalities and local government get a hold of you?
You know, our website is the best way, of course, humanedgeglobal.com or Human Edge Executive Search. If they haven't seen us at a trade show or an event, a municipal event or a private event or a non-for-profit fundraising golf tournament, we are online and we could be reached quite readily.
Well, thank you so much, Ken. It was lovely chatting to you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for elevating this aspect of our world that we live in today. AI is here to stay, and we only see it being more and more evident in this world.
Well, you heard it from Ken himself, using AI to help you improve your resume and your cover letter and align your experience better with the job description is not cheating. It is improving who you are and showing other people, representing the hiring managers better and help you prepare in that. So, if you got any other questions, please do put it on the comments and reach out to Ken for all your hiring needs. This is Daphne Thompson. Till next time.